Okay, guys, just got done lifting. Got to get stronger. Didn't want to go in. Get stronger. Working hard, man. I a lot of times I'm just like, oh man, it's too much. And I think about going to Europe, getting cleats on the ground in Europe. So got to get stronger. And then I start to cut and lean up, get more athletic. I'm already playing above the rim. Just got to get more bounce. And got to put in that work, man. Got to put in that work. And the reason I bring up the old basketball, that's kind of the cornerstone of my athleticism. I know that when I can fly, when I'm taking flight on the basketball court, I'm ready. So I'm ready to play baseball. I'm ready for anything. So that being said, guys, you got to put in the work with this crypto. So what's the next upcoming trends, this next bull market? And what are we looking out for? So we're a couple years out. It's going to be a long drag. And, in 2019, we also had this little summer, kind of spring, summer little rally. And we were feeling good about ourselves, and then it burned off. And then by the end of 2019, we were back down in the pits. And we had some lower lows with the altcoins. And we almost went down to the low of 3,200 for Bitcoin. We went down to about 3,500, 3,400. So we just kind of revisited that stuff. And, I feel like we're kind of setting up to do a similar type thing. Now, that being said, this is the time to keep your eyes peeled on some of these new projects and stuff. A lot of this stuff's going to come out for AI. It's not going to have anything to do with AI. Now, will people jump into it and the stuff will pump pretty hard? Some of it will. I think the gaming will once again be a recurring trend, and there could be some validity behind it, and there might not be. I think this time there is a better chance that there'll be some validity behind it, and but it's got to be on the right blockchain. You can't say that you're gonna, make some kind of extravagant metaverse game or something on Ethereum. I'm sick of hearing that. That was never gonna happen, and not even close. So that being said, we continue to have these blockchains get bogged down by various different things, whether it be the NFTs or the ordinals thing on Bitcoin and on Litecoin and stuff like that. And I don't know. I think that the NFTs, there will be some of those projects that will survive, and people will go after some of those collections. And I think we will see some of the NFTs be more usable, in-game purchases and other things that would actually have some sort of tangible relevancy. So let's keep our eyes peeled, for that type of situation. That being said, what are some of the things? I think people will go back into the Hex contract on Pulse Chain, but I don't think it's going to happen right away. And the reason I say that is because you can earn more providing liquidity out on something like PulseX. And I think there's going to be other opportunities out there before people re-enter the before they re-enter the Hex contract. But if the Hex contract averages what it was averaging previously, which was about 38% APY, that could be pretty lucrative if you stack a very, very, very big position. You've got another opportunity here to stack that. And there will be detractors and say, oh no, this was a scam and stuff like that, blah, 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 blah. No, it really wasn't. And like I said before with Pulse Chain, I said unless the SEC or kind of some other entity or something tries to derail him, he will release Pulse Chain. It will be a thing, and sure enough, we got here, and it is. It's here. It's working. You can interact with the contracts. You can provide liquidity on PulseX, and there's other opportunities coming up. Just look out for the scams. There's going to be scams, obviously, on all these chains, so look out for that. But I do think that there will be an opportunity to re-enter the Hex contract and stack a bunch of Hex. Another one that is going to be, and I really think you guys should keep your eye on this, because a lot of the risk has been taken out, because now we have more definitive patterns. And go and look at the Digibyte chart. and it is tailor made. Like, literally, it couldn't be easier. The game is too perfect, and you stack a lot of Digibyte, and you're going to earn a pretty healthy multiple come next bull run. If you can hold in there, you're going to earn a solid multiple. And even if it only goes up to half of what it was before, means it touched like 15 cents. But even if it went up to half of that, that is a very healthy multiple. Now, that being said, we see a lot of this stuff, and the question is, do you buy Bitcoin first? Well, I think the play this time is, if we have capitulation moves here in Q3, Q4 for late 2023, and we kind of collapse down again, you stack and stack. You got to position yourself to stack then. So right now, try to position yourself to stack in late 2023. What you can stack, the reserve assets: Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, Dogecoin, and restack Litecoin as well. And then you can post those as collateral on something like Venus on a money market, and then you can borrow stable coins against that at 3 or 4%. And you could either buy these alts, or for a while you could earn a return in some kind of stable coin liquidity pool. You could bridge that over and end up on the Hive blockchain and earn 20% on the Hive backed dollar, and then use those rewards to stack some of the altcoins and diversify some of these more speculative plays, whether that be Telos, whether that be Digibyte, whether that be the Nano play. I was looking at Nano again. Like, where did Nano go? Nano's back under $1. But I think that something like Nano is going to bleed off a lot more, and I don't think that play is going to be as good as it was this past time. Now, the reason I mentioned Nano again is because there's no inflation on that chain, and it was on Kraken and some of the major exchanges and stuff like that. Now it's fallen well into the second page of CoinMarketCap. So it's harder to say. I'm probably not going to take up that play this time, personally. I think that a lot of the stuff like Avalanche, Phantom, and various projects like that, you can earn a multiple. And then obviously, safer play, even though it goes down every week, is this stuff like Solana. And you're going to have another chance to stack Solana, maybe even under $10. So at some point, when this stuff collapses, you can get a pretty healthy bag, if you're able to get in position. But kind of the easy way to do it is, if you can ride it out long enough, and if you trust the contracts, you do have contract risk, is to, stack Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, Dogecoin, Litecoin, post that as collateral, borrow against it at 3 or 4%, and buy some of these other stuff like Solana, Phantom, Avalanche, and all that, and assume that you're going to make back over the 3 or 4% that you were borrowing those stable coins at. And that could really kind of amplify your gains. But if you do it safely, it could work out in your favor once we get past, especially once we get into 2024. We're a lot closer to the halving for Bitcoin. And, I just think you're going to be in a better position. So you got to position yourself now to buy these capitulation moves. The volumes are pretty low. I don't think that these prices are going to hold up for stuff like Bitcoin and Litecoin, obviously. And I think you're going to get another very strong move down that's going to be a backbreaker for a lot of people that we're trying to hold through this period of time. And a lot of people don't have money right now. They need the money. That's why the volumes are getting low. They need the money. They're disengaged. They're trying to get money to go on a family vacation. People have been beaten up by this inflation. And with this whole debt ceiling deal, there's just additional inflation. We're going to pay for it. And the way we can counteract it is the big moves in crypto and outpacing that inflation with something like the high back dollar at 20%. APR. A lot of people don't listen to me when I really talk about that, but it's been going on for over a year, and you know, whatever, you know, utilize it if you want or don't, but I'm earning there. So anyway, what are you guys getting? What do you think the next moves are? What are you going to stack in Q3, Q4? Follow me on all social media at Brian Phobos, YouTube, Instagram, Steam it, Twitter, Hive, subscribe.